What to do, YouTube? It's your favorite streamer tapping in today, man. Giving y'all the long awaited defensive ebook. Alright. There's gonna be a lot of yapping in this video, but all of the yapping that I'm doing makes sense. Alright, so you guys gotta listen very carefully. We're gonna be running the 4-2-5 man pressure playbook out of the University of Colorado. And we're gonna show you three main formations that I run, but it has every formation I think that you could need in order to run. Okay, so this is Overstorm Brave 2.0. This is College Football 25. We're back. This is Send 3, Get Pressure, 8 in coverage, switch stick your life away. All right, this is a switch sticking defense. This is not a man defense. This is not cover 2 man. This isn't one stop all defense at all either. All right, so I don't know if it's just me or if it's the defense that I run, but I am very susceptible to the run. Those that watch me know. Anytime I got a motherfucker who's willing to pound the rock, I'm gonna give up a lot of yards. All right, but we bend and don't break around here. So let's get right into it, boys. We're gonna show you the team that I use, and I'm gonna show you the substitutions that I also use. Cause you gotta make a lot of substitutions in the package, okay? So, offense, defense. So this defense, I'm gonna be putting out an offensive ebook soon too. But the defense, this defense has allowed me to obviously accumulate over 7.5 million coins. I'm also top 100. I think I'm like 12 or something last time I checked. Got a pretty decent record, could be better. But we were still figuring it out in the beginning. Right now I'm, ready to go. So also on like a pretty nice heater in regs, ranked 31st overall, 40 game win streak, almost a 90 win percent. Got to get that better. But again, I was trying to figure it out in the beginning. So let's get right into it. Alright, there's gonna be a lot of yapping, boys. A lot of yapping, so you gotta pay attention. Situational football. Alright, so the number one thing that I always say, man, I can give you guys a billion different ebooks, but I can't tell you what decision to make in the heat of the moment. Alright, so let's go ahead and get flipped. And that matters, okay? So what I mean by that is you have to know the opponent that you're playing. Like, you have to study him, and in the little 12 minute of gameplay that you have of him, he has tendencies. Every single player in this game has tendencies, unless they're a brand new bot. All right, but typically those good top players, they all have the same tendencies. They all have the same route formations. Out of bunch X nasty, bunch strong, it's all the same thing. All right, so this is the 4-2-5 formation that we're going to be going over. All right, it's over G. The most important situation that you need to do is you need to switch your packages at the bottom with the right stick to slot cornerback. All right, if you don't switch to slot cornerback, they'll put a safety there, your backup free safety there, and what'll happen is he can't go into a hard flat, or he can't go into certain zones, and they'll put him in a deep blue. Like, it'll really mess up your whole defense. All right, so it's very important for you to, first of all, switch to slot cornerback. All right, the very first substitution that you're gonna want to do, all right, the very first one is put a linebacker with speed and zone right here on the right edge. Yeah, on the right edge. So for me, it's the LTD Sammy Brown. He's super good, and 9 out of 10 he's in coverage. All right, so you want this to be a good linebacker, and I think it has to be an outside linebacker. Yeah, so make sure it's an outside linebacker. This is my defensive tackle 1, right, where I rock Barry Alexander. This is gonna be either another D tackle or a really big end. So for me, I use Will Helt. I think he's like 6'5", 270, something crazy like that, the free card. And I put him there because it's almost like another D tackle. And I put the fastest end that I have right here. So right here is Nassar. I think he has 82 speed, 90 excel. I did have Dylan Stewart, the base card, before his LTD came out. I'm not spending $3 million on Dylan. Niggas is crazy. But Dylan's base card was goaded at this position. So boom, you want to go here to your slot cornerback, put in your third corner. Mine is Chris Peel. All right, the left linebacker is going to be your user. My user right now is Jalen Sneed. Then the right linebacker is going to be your blitzer. Okay. Right now, I just re-rolled Whit Weeks to 87 speed, so he's the fastest linebacker in the game. And he's got like 89 pursuit and like 88 block share. All right, just in case he does come in contact with a running back, he boom kills him and continues to come in. So you can have a lot of good people right here. It used to be Sammy Brown. It used to be Sir Terrain Perkins is another really good linebacker. This has to be a linebacker, and in my opinion, now you could get smaller guys like a Earl Thomas or something to get in there to slip in there, but when you're playing those comp guys, those really good guys, they're gonna know how to block it, at least with the running back. So you want somebody that has high impact block, somebody that's gonna come through and it's really a pass rusher to bust through that. So for right now, we're using Whit Weeks. Make sure that your right safeties are in the right position. So Hannafin's my strong, Poiser's my free. All right, and then that's how you set up at least this part of the defense. Until you get into a rhythm of knowing really how to do it, remember that when the offense is calling a play call and your ticker's going down, you wait till 1 second, pause the game, and unpause it. It'll refresh those 15 seconds, all right? So always remember that. Always remember that. So here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come into LB Blitz, as you see right here. And you want to pick it out of formations, all right? I think that if you pick it out of, like, favorites or even sometimes recent plays, and I could be wrong, but this is my personal experience with it, sometimes it'll put in the regular package, and all of my stuff will be wacky, like all of the adjustments and stuff. So also, I think there's an LB blitz in every single one of these 4-2-5s. Except that one, but I know there's one in even and there's one in 3 high. So make sure you're in over G. Make sure. All right, so we're gonna leave it as man right now. So I like to call man against trips formations. That means trips tight end and trips tight end flex with the offset tight end. Any type of like trip or just those two trips formations specifically, I like to run man against. So we'll just show you what it looks like here. Right, so this is how I defend it. So let's call something like verticals. All right, so what I'll do is, this is how I defend trips tight end. I man up my user to the tight end. I put that safety and the other safety both in curl flats. I press, commit inside, shade inside. All right, so the first thing I do when he hikes the ball is I'm going to cover this corner route and then come back to the Texas or the running back swing route. All right, so if you're not comfortable with pressing, I get it. But, like, if your corners aren't good enough, but if you don't, if this guy calls drive post or something of that nature, it's going to be really easy for them to get a free release, obviously, into a drag route. So I like to press just to give it that couple seconds that the quarterback has to think. And as you see, he'll come in. Well, damn, he got burnt. But that's what I'll do, right? And so, again, it's all about knowing your opponent. So if I know that my opponent is always going into the inside, he's never putting an outside route on one of that trip side, I'll do something like this, or even put him in a inside third and zone him down, something like this, right? And that's kind of how I do it. So as you guys see, we get good sheds and all that. So that's how I guard trips tight end. Now let's get into like no. Let's get into the pretty aspect of it. All right. So any other formation, any kind of bunch formation, Y off trio close, normal Y off close, any kind of these formations, I like to run trips X nasty. I like to run my macro, right? So my macro is gonna be it's basically a cover three hard flat macro, okay? So I'll be going over the macros too towards the end of the video where you guys can pick up everything and see. Um, so that's gonna be my X macro, right? And I put myself in a hook, and this is a cover three hard flat, is what it is. All right, so you will win 75 to 80% of your games just in sitting in cover three. I mean, especially right now where there's not enough speed, not enough takeoffs out there for them to really hit the seams. Good guys can still hit the seams, but the safeties can still get back to it because the quarterbacks are lofting them at this stage. So at this stage, I really do like cover three hard flat, and I always switch to my hook and then down to my flats. Unless I see something crazy about to be open, like double corner outs or something like that. So again, I go here, and you switch everywhere. You try to read the field. All right, so that's just kind of like how I like to run it. Let me see. Yeah, so any kind of these formations or whatever, especially when they send out five, they're gonna get I'm gonna get pressure. So if I come here into my macro into like normal Y off, I'll come here, man up the tight end. Because usually like two things are gonna be called here, which is sail and mesh spot. So if it's sail, I'll switch over to the hard flat, trying to scare the running back for him not to throw it and then shoot straight up to the tight end. So it'll look something like this. Come here and then try to shoot back up, and as you see, instant pressure, right? So for any guys send out five, it's pretty much over with. They will get sacked. So sometimes this happens where me and the corner are on the same side. All right, so when me and the corner are on the same side, personally, what I like to do is just come over here, put myself in a hook curl, and come back. So it gives it a little bit of a following. So what I'll do is as soon as this ball's hiked, I'll switch to my other hook curl, and that'll give Snead enough time to start going towards the right where the tight end is, and then I'll switch back to him or switch down to my flat, whatever the route combo may have, right? So I'll come here, come back, and try to guard something. So usually this is susceptible to quarterbacks running out to the left now, but it's kind of hard for the running back to run out to the left. It's not as bad as lefties trying to roll out to the right, but most guys don't really roll out to the left. And when they do, that's when you send the heat and send the hard flat, and then switch over there to make sure they can't make a throw backside. So, like I said, I mean, in certain situations, I will leave that linebacker blitzed, that Sammy Brown blitz, and it'll create even more pressure. All right, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I have macros for LB blitz that are kind of messed up, and I just been too lazy to take them off or fix them. But I have my cover three hard flat, which is probably my favorite, and then I also use my cover two tight, where he's supposed to be blitzing still, and it's basically a Tampa 2. Or if I don't want him to blitz, I'll put myself in the mid read and then have him in that same hook curl that he was just in. So it's a real Tampa 2. I also have cover 4. So I use cover 4 against like down and distance. So like 4th and 30, 4th and 20, and guys are going for it. So the way that I make my cover 4, I send the most heat possible. So I send him down. I put up my curl flat, to the line of scrimmage, and then what I actually do is I put that outside guy in a cloud flat, also to the first down line. All right, and I cover kind of like the middle, because sometimes if you don't custom protect the sticks or whatever, sometimes a corner route will get under that blue, and you guys know with the green catching meter, it is insane. It is insane. So you want a guy who's gonna sit there on that corner route or on that crosser route, and is gonna sit a little bit under it, so that you have the best chance possible to knock it down. Right. So that's kind of how I set up my cover four. So anytime like down the distance, or even like if they got the ball with 12 seconds left, no timeouts, and they're trying to drive down the field, get in field goal range, whatever. That's kind of how I set that up. So those are my three real, uh, my three real macros for this, and it's very simple. I mean, like I said, 99% of the time I'm sending cover three. All right, so that's the formation. That's the first formation that I use out of here, and we'll go on to the next one. All right, boys. Now we're into the world famous 4-3 even 6-1. All right, so this is for all my pistol players, man. I can't stand them. I can't stand people who run the ball, man. It is a skill, I have come to learn that, but I can't stand it. So, but hey, when there is pistol, there are problems. All right, so what these guys are doing, bro, is they're putting on aggressive blocking, and they're not getting penalized for it. And you could tell because whenever they do have to pass and they forget to turn off that aggressive pass block, you'll get a random holding penalty. All right, holding is not called in this game unless it's aggressive blocking. So most of the time, now that guys know that, they are getting more like smart with turning it off before they have to pass. But sometimes they still forget, right? So this is 4-3 even. And if I know that they're running the ball, or yeah, if I know that they're running the ball, I like to come out in Mike Will blitz. Um, and this comes into knowing your opponent, all right, because this is two different stunts that you can use to help stop the run. All right, so with Mike Will blitz, to me, uh, to stop the inside run is going to be a Texas four-man stunt, which is at the bottom of the play call sheet. All right, so I'll come out of Mike Will blitz if I know that they're running inside. I think I only got one pistol formation in here. So what I'll do is spread the line, show blitz on the linebackers, and I'll kind of use this guy right here, the guy that's manned up to the running back. So as they hike this ball, that's me to contain the edge. All right, so guys who are running inside zones, as you see, the middle is completely packed up. So if I stay right here on my job, on my contain, well, I got pancakes. So, I mean, I can't win with pistol. I'm not saying I got the greatest defense for it. This is just what I like. So, when that does happen, and even though it's an inside zone and he continues to push it outside, I come out in the other stunt, which is called El Paso. So, let's try it again. Spread line, blitz linebackers, contain. And as you see, then he wants to decide to go up the middle. So this is the computer's gonna choose right every time, right? But you know guys who have that Todd Gurley, that Bo Jackson, they want to get outside. Most guys kind of want to get outside anyway, but the El Paso really helps it from going outside, as you could tell, which is why he continues to cut it inside, and it's an inside run. So if I put him in a stretch, it should make him go outside, and it should uh, contain the run a little bit better. So and I come down, make a tackle with your user. But as you see, there's a hat on the hat, so that's all on you, on the user, to make that tackle. Um, but yeah, I can't stop the run. This is kind of like one of my most hopeful ways to do so. Um, and yeah, so if I think that they're passing out of the pistol, I come out and cover four, because even if they do run it, and I think it's a pass, cover four kind of has the best run fits. Those inside quarters kind of react to the run first before they go out in coverage. That's just basic, like NFL principle, I guess. Not that I would know, just that's just what I've heard and kind of come to learn. So I'd show blitz, bring these guys down, and just try to shoot the run myself. Whichever way that they're going. Um, and again, if they do pass out of it, then we still have, you know, 7 guys in coverage out there. So that's what I mean by situational defense. All right, now this formation also has really, really good formations in it. If you don't even rock with the formations that I use, or find better formations to use in different situations, they also have nickel over, nickel wide. 3-3 Cub is a really, really popular one these days. Like my boy RG's and them, I know they be running this shit. Single mug is super, super good. Double mug obviously is the meta, always has been kind of thing. We also have Dom 3-2, which this is the defense that I ran at the end of last year, and I'll probably run towards more the end of this year. It's kind of my favorite defense. I call cover 4 quarters or even cover 3 buzz with a blitzing linebacker, shift the linebacker over, shade down, contain. And this is where I could shoot the run gap really well, switch stick all over the field. And I won a lot of games at the end of last year with this, with the 8 ball hawks and 5 instincts and stuff like that. So when we get to that point, I probably will switch over to this. But even then, if now, some people I know, like I watch a lot of K-Mac, I watch a lot of Throne, I watch a lot of those guys, and sometimes they can stop the run out of dime. My homie Baja, all he runs is dime, and he can stop the run out of dime, So each player has his own strengths and his own weaknesses, but if you could do that, we also have dime in this playbook. And so the last thing that I wanted to go over was goal line defense. All right, goal line / red zone defense. So if we are I don't know how to move the ball. I think it's I think I can move it now. Yeah. So this is goal line defense. There's plenty of times, man, where I get guys who run the ball, and I get them down into this position. Okay. So this is what I like to do to get a lot of goal line stops. I get a lot of them. All right. There's gonna be pretty much just 2 simple setups to this. All right. If they're in a gun formation, you're gonna shift your line opposite of the running back, so here to the left. All right, what I'm going to do is, and you can set up a macro for this, but I'm so used to doing it by hand, I'm kind of used to it. What you're going to do is you're going to put hard flats on both sides and hook curls on both sides. So it's going to look like this kind of, right? And then sometimes when it's a bunch formation or something like that, some people like to leave a streak or even put like a curl. Again, it's just knowing your opponent. So if you got a guy who likes to attack the middle of the field, I actually put him in the inside quarter, and that'll stop any kind of back of the end zone situations. If you got a guy who loves to go corner out, I would do something like this, right, and make sure that flat route or that RPO and that speed out is completely covered. So that's just kind of guard the whole middle of the field. I don't know where the fuck my linebacker went, but that's pretty much the setup to it. So sometimes though, like the linebacker likes to like lollygag before he gets over there, so I like to do it backwards like that. and again like this because I can't be everywhere. So I really just want to guard the whole middle of the field. And again, the computer's usually gonna make the right play, but as you see, I'm sending 7 people or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sending 6 people, and I'm trying to pick the right crossing route, really. So a lot of faking, a lot of stuff like that. What I really like is like when it's a single side. There's a single receiver on one side, like um, yeah, like a bunch strong nasty, right? So boom, you see a solo side receiver. I put him in a hard flat and him in a hook curl, even if he's more out. So if for Jeremiah is more out like a regular bunch strong, I like it more because sometimes most of the time he's gonna be in a slam or a drag, and so the hook curl is gonna be coming. Instead of trying to manning him up and get beat inside, he's already inside. So he's gonna follow him just like this all the way under for that slant, and then obviously this side, um, again hard flat like this, or even again depending on what your opponent likes to do, shift the line to the running back side. Boom, take care of the crossers. Boom. So those are the three defenses that I just wanted to go over. I think that we went over them pretty well. Again, most of the time I'm in 4-2-5 over G. It's Overstorm Brave cracked out. So obviously, like in just a couple practice plays that I ran, the computer is gonna have perfect blocking and perfect defense, quote unquote, for the defense. So if I just go over to a couple clips that I have, you can see just kind of it coming in. Boom, Whit Reeks came in free. I actually recorded this one because I was wondering why my safety was all the way in the middle of the field. So there's that one. But as you seen, Whit Weeks came in free. Here, he got chip blocked by the running back. But as you see, we kind of got everything covered. That was a crazy pick by Sammy. And then, so just seeing it in live action, you're going to get different feeling than this isn't a computer defense because the computer will pick it up. This isn't something that you take to your dynasty or some shit like that because that shit gets picked up crazy. But as you see, Whit Weeks coming in, putting in pressure, rest of the sheds, switch sticking his life away. Let's see what else we got here. This is a game-winning pick 6 playing against my boy Joker Kell. Shout out to my boy Joker Kell. I also watch him a lot. But this was a game-sealing pick 6 here. Just a crazy play by Sherman down the sideline. And this defense was giving him hell all day. I mean, he was giving me hell too, but I mean, just hell. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So just make sure you make different adjustments and you keep it moving, man. So I'm gonna go over the macros real quick, and then that'll be it for the video, man. Let me know what you guys think. If I went in depth too much, if I talk too much, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to let me know. This YouTube thing ain't really my thing. Y'all can catch me late at night on Twitch. Very, very inconsistent streamer. So, just know that before you try to come see me. What's your shit at? So I'm just gonna go over it. You guys can pause the video if you want to, make sure you grab it. And yeah, man, I just want to say I appreciate all the love and support, especially on Twitch, man. You guys go crazy. TikTok also goes crazy. Unfortunately, YouTube is just like the little redheaded stepchild, man. There's a lot of work that has to be done with YouTube. There's a lot of stuff I can't do. A lot of music edits, a lot of you know, I can't have the music. I can't really curse like how I curse. I can't, you know, they're kind of real on their thing about it. So I just, you know, unfortunately, y'all get the last of everything, but y'all get the in-depth videos. So shout out to my YouTube community. It's gonna be my first video posted this year. So yeah, I always want to thank all of the love and support from you guys. It absolutely means the world to me. And yeah, man, when the kids get back in school, you know, you'll be able to see me during the day and stuff like that. But until then, man, catch me late nights. And yeah, man, you know, love, peace, stop the violence, man. Until next time, Scars out. Schmerkio, I went 2.0, I can't stop.